Friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. Look who's back in my shop today. Your favorite 2010 Toyota Matrix with some nice transmission service on it. Filmed that in detail. You are enjoying that video. And look who's back. The car is back for additional MAF sensor cleaning, which I just done without you. I filmed these things so many times, I cannot even count. So these are the wires. You see that shiny wire that was full of dust before, and there is another set of wires in that tube when my thumb it's inside. Maybe with light. Do you see them? They're shiny. Yeah. So that needs to be cleaned. You know how to do that. You use only this spray. You never touch it with any brushes because most likely you will damage those wires. But I was going to do without you throttle body cleaning. If you look underneath the valve, you might think it's shiny. Oh yeah, it's perfect. No, the passage for air control or the idle air control, the passage is completely blocked with that black. Do you see that? Do you see that on the bottom? And the same situation, it's above. So this needs to be cleaned for correct function. This one is such a great design, in my opinion, that I don't think I have to remove it. Normally I will block these two coolant lines. There is a coolant in it. Disconnect it. Disconnect electric wiring harness for, what is it? 2 nuts and 2 bolts, 10 millimeters. And I will put it on the bench. I will do the cleaning on the bench. But I think, and that's why I came with the camera, I think I will be able to get behind it just to moving it this way. And I will be able to clean it nicely from behind. That's the reason why I always remove it. So I brought the camera here to show you that it actually might be on this model. It might be easier than usually. Because of that easier than usually, I have a hope I will be able to encourage you to do it yourself. So I said 10 millimeters, I was correct. That's that nut. This will be a long bolt. I will carefully place them here so I don't lose them, drop them. Here is my secondary nut, and here comes the last bolt. And now let's see together if I was correct, if this moves nicely without disconnecting many items. This one was easy. Look at it. It should be totally accessible. This is another airline, so for sake of filming it and also being easy, I will unclip this one. There will be no coolant coming out, so we don't need to work with it. Of course, ideally I just remove it. I just put it on the bench. Maybe we will realize at the end it's better. Let's try. If it makes sense. If it makes sense, it's nice to make things easy. If it doesn't make sense, then it's time to remove it. And look at it. I hope you can see it. I have perfect access to behind that butterfly valve. Normally, you don't, and that's the reason why I remove them and put them on the bench. But here, purely theoretically, I will show it for your sake of DIY. For sake of that, let's clean it, still in the vehicle, even with that electronic connector still attached. Or is it safer to remove it obviously the ignition is off. It'll be better to disconnect it. So, look, it gives you again even more movability. You definitely don't need to deal with those coolant lines. So I'm being careful. I will not be throwing it around. I will bring some catching little pan and let's start the cleaning. And again, to perform cleaning, I again stick with professional products, Throttle body and air intake cleaner from CRC. And I would like to say it one more time, so it's absolutely clear. I'm doing this for you, for my own purpose. I rather disconnect those lines, right, these two coolant lines, and just put it on the bench and have a nice access and spray it and so on. But I'm trying to show you that maybe, just maybe, this is totally doable in the vehicle. So I have a catching pen. I will never spray this stuff in somebody's car and make a mess, right? And you are soaking, you are spraying it on that nasty carbon buildup, yet in the same time I'm catching it underneath it in that container. Now I grab the new shop towel for visual, right? So I have that mess there. Now you see that butterfly valve. This is electronic unit right here with the gears and electric motors. I will tell you something. Move this butterfly valve with being extremely gentle and careful, okay? So I will push on it with my fingers. It gives you resistance, and carefully move it. I'm not going to be abrupt with it. I want to be as smooth as possible and gentle with it. And look at that. That was brand new. Towel clean. We are getting that crap out. This throttle body looked pretty okay, but the passage was blocked. And it's really important to get rid of it. Look at it. And this is the side which normally people will not clean correctly. It's the back side. And today, even without removing those cooling lines, we have a nice access. I hope you can see it's starting coming off. I just recently reviewed this light from Fight, and now we will see why this little light at the end, that wand, Harry Potter's wand, right here, it's a little lens. We will see how we can use it. So I will put it on, you can see it, and it will help us to have a single small source of light, and that will help me to demonstrate to you how this cleaning was successful. I might need to set up this whole situation here and remove the camera from the tripod, because I'm afraid you are still too far, but this position might help me to show what I'm trying to explain. Do you see that light showing on the top? Oh yeah, you see it. You see it. I'm trying to look in the camera and in the same time. Do you see the light is showing there? Right there. Maybe I should use just the whole thing. Maybe when I use the whole light. Do you see that light coming from behind the throttle body that was all plugged by that black carbon? You saw it in the beginning. Now we have perfectly open passages for that idle air. So I'm ready to carefully install it back. I'm checking that the rubber gasket, which is right here, it's in the good shape. I didn't damage it while taking it apart or something. That will be a problem, obviously. I will put away this wiring harness and gently put it on its mount. Oh yeah, nice. Fortunately, this vehicle is awesome. There is a space everywhere. So look, it's coming back. I will be using only hand tools. These bolts and the studs and the nuts are pretty small, so I don't want to use a power tool to save a few seconds and strip something. It's all aluminum, right? It's a soft metal. You don't want to be too hard on these things. It's not worth it. It's not worth it yanking on it too much just to save, let's say, half minute, especially not for you as the DIYers. So I will torque these in the crisscross manner. So I'm going crisscross, yeah, that's the word. And I will carefully torque it. The hint for you, if you want to hear one, this is 3/8. This is relatively big tools. If you want to be really gentle, please switch, go down to the 1/4. These tools are tiny and you have better feel on such a delicate parts like this throttle body. So hand tight, right? And I'm going crisscross manner. Now I will do the last torque. Again, not much torque on this. There is a rubber gasket and we don't want to strip anything. So these were the small 1/4 tools. Now, obviously, if we forget to hook something, that will be a problem because we will have vacuum leaks and that will create a lot of mess. So, when was this going? Right here, huh? Boom. Hop. I will grab the plier, which is being left there here. I always try to match the print on those hoses the same way it was. Don't forget your electrical connector. Make sure it's clean and listen for the click. You heard that, right? So we have both coolant lines because we didn't disconnect them. We are still missing line right here, which I previously put here on the side. This didn't have a clamp, so now it's nicely back. This is for the intake. One more time, last check. Nothing is missing or disconnected. So you didn't see me removing this intake pipe. Here are like a little arrows, just for your info. Obviously you will have to match this tube, but there are little arrows, or here is a notch and it goes against that part there. So it even shows you how it belongs together correctly. What is the orientation of that entire pipe? So now I need to turn it a little bit this way. It's clearly showing me, and it makes sense because right here we have this crankcase ventilation tube. So boom, here is the little metal clamp. This is good. Now don't forget, right, don't walk away too quickly. Again, you can use the 10mm power tool, or if you want to feel it better, you just grab a Phillips screwdriver. But it's a 10mm, it's not a problem to use that. It will always, the 10mm will always torque it, no, not better, but harder, which of course you are afraid here because this is plastic. So again, you have to be careful with it. Rather, I use that power tools on it, but you have to be careful because this plastic part you don't want to break. We have obviously still missing that MAF sensor, and because it's clean and it dried already, let's put it there together and finish the whole thing. And as I said before, I wasn't planning on filming this. I thought it's just a regular thing. I definitely have a bunch of throttle bodies cleanings on this channel, but when I saw how simple it is. So I have a smaller Phillips screwdriver. It's a smaller size. These two screws are very tiny. So when I saw how simple it is, I thought of you, because that could be another encouragement for you to do another service on your own Toyota yourself. So again, electric connector. Let's listen for the click. Yep, you heard that. So this is, I always double triple check. Electrical connector there, here. These two clamps are tight. This is with the clamp on. These two were not disconnected, and I had these two disconnected, and this one was missing a clamp. So everything is perfectly back, except that beautifying cover, which we will do next. Here is the cover itself coming on. It's a push on. You can see like a little balls. It's 4 of them. If will be hard to take it off, you can always could put silicone lubricant tiny bit in these rubber grommets. This one was coming off very easily, so I will be not messing up with it. Listen how I will push it on. Hop, hop, hop. 4 of them nicely. And because it has rubber grommets, when it vibrates, it will not do rattle or anything like that. And look at us, guys. We are done. Let me show you what I meant with that high idle. Important words for a safety of everybody's. Anytime you will run your vehicle in your garage, make sure your garage door is fully open. You get a fresh air, because that exhaust gases will kill you if you close. If you never open your garage door, you will breathe it in, it will kill you. So let's go look how our idle went up, right? This was idling normally at 850 or something like that. I will shut off anything here, so the AC compressor will not interrupt in it. Let's see. Do you hear that? Do you hear how that computer is like, what is going on? This wasn't like that. I have so much air suddenly, so it was using more fuel. And as I said, ideally you switch off all your stuff. You have it in 0. You don't run the AC compressor, you don't do anything like that. Look, it's still like 1550 or something. It's really high. The good news, don't freak out, everything's fine. It will go down. And it might not go down in 1 minute or 2 minutes. You might need to do a few driving cycles, then it finally will reach that 850 or 800, whatever, it's the perfect RPM for this vehicle. So I hope you find this video helpful. I hope I did encourage you to work on your Toyota more, especially when you have 2010 Matrix. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumb up please, and be subscribed. I have way more coming your way soon. I will catch you later, alligator.